Hello everyone, my name is Hilda and welcome back to my channel. Believe it or not, 2 videos in a row that have nothing to do with knitting, because today, believe it or not, I find it hard to believe, we're making cosplay props. I have my warrant of trade, I have a purity seal that is, it's got 2 pin backs so you can pin it to yourself. My cat Salm just ran away. Yeah, this is mostly a video about the purity seals. I've made clips of how I made them. And yeah, I would suggest we just watch those and I'll come back for my final thoughts. It's time to make some purity seals, or at least attempt to. Under the watchful eye of Joop, who's very interested. So Noelle, who is in the Hellhounds with me, printed these. I paid him for it, obviously. But yeah, so he printed 2 different formats. This is the regular purity seal size, and these are a little bit smaller because I want to use this on my warrant of trade. And I think this one too. I'm not entirely sure which Warhammer symbol this is. It might be the Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm not sure. Yeah, this blank one I got from the 180th of Krieg at Comic Con Holland when I met them. And originally this was completely white and just nice and square, and I burnt off the bits and went in it with what's it called? Distress oxide. What was I trying to say even? And with sanguine. So it's like all bloodied up and it looks like somebody tried to clean it off. And this is the one I usually wear in my Rogue Trader cosplay. And it used to have pin backs, well, brooches on the back, brooch clips, but they came off. And I'm going to glue pin backs to the back because I've got another one and it works really, really well. I'm going to film like this. Yup, participate. And he's like, what? I've sniffed this before. But yeah, so my plan is, and it may or may not work, I've got my memory stick on which I have printed stuff like this. And I've added the Imperial Aquila, the double-headed eagle. So I've flipped them, because you have to have them in mirror script, like flipped, to print them. And I've got this transfer paper from Amazon. And when I got it, I figured it was just going to be transfer paper. But it is a bit of a nightmare because it has to be printed on it has to be ironed on a hard surface, not on an ironing board. But it says cover work surface with other t-shirt or flat pillow. So what I'm going to do is I've dismantled an old ironing board cover just for like the really thick felt that is in them. And I'm going to put that underneath and see if the transfer works on that. I will print 2 sheets just in case. Like worst comes to worst, I'll have to ask Noelle if I can buy a couple of more of him and just buy more purity seals, which is not a loss, because if you've seen Warhammer like characters, many of them are like kind of covered in purity seals, and if I put these 2 small ones on my warrant of trade, I will need another small one for the servo skull when Ian and I build it anyway. So yeah, I'm hoping to make like I can turn this back into a brooch. I've got everything for it, so that's not a problem. But yeah, I'm hoping to turn this into a brooch so Bert can wear it for his documentarist cosplay, and if he's not wearing it, when he's not wearing it, I'll likely be wearing it because on one of my jacket there lives a purity seal. So yeah, I'm gonna go print and hopefully this works out and this video is not a complete and total fail. Hey Kiwi! I have found the white sheet to use. It's an old sheet from IKEA and I've just kept it for like random whiteness. So if all goes well, this is what I'm going to iron them to and have a white sheet to start from. I hope I put the paper in correctly. I'm not entirely sure how well this shows up, but this is what I mean when I said I flipped the image and now I'm going to print it. Hooray! So I've got my 2 prints. I was smart enough and did a test print to see what side I needed to put the paper in. And good thing I did. Yeah, so I've got my prints. This is on the iron-on paper. That's the back of it. And now I'm going to test and see if it actually works. Okay, so I hope this works, because I've got one hand. It's coming off. So satisfying. Yay! Okay, that worked. I'm so relieved. I really thought I was going to have to buy the really expensive ones from Green Stuff, but yeah. Okay, so, and as you can see, it is now in the right side. So we've got Oath of the Moment, and then we have, this is, I copied it from the Creek one I have. It is the blood of martyrs that shall seal the doom of the heretic, the mutant, and the witch. And I've got the Imperial Aquila, and then I have the Hellhound's Instagram at Hellhound Belgicus 411. So yeah, now I'm gonna cut them out and turn them into purity seals. And here we go. Sorry for the background noise, the washing machine is doing a load. So here's one cut out. Here's leftover bit, but there's iron-on on it, but there's no text. But I figured, like, you could probably write on this with an alcohol marker, like a Sharpie. So I'm going to give this to Sam as well. So Sam is the leader of our cosplay group, which means he's responsible. Because somebody has to be. And then this one, I just cut out the sheet, and then you can use a ruler and then just like measure out what you want and just cut it out all neat. And I've cut out 4, so I don't want to anymore. So this is going to Sam, so he can make some purity seals. Also, he doesn't have a lot of choice. He just has 3 of the blood of the martyrs, etc. ones, because I'm using both of the Oath of the Moments. Because I've got my warrant of trade here, and nothing's glued on, but I'm going to glue these on, and I'm going to make another wax seal with some leftover ribbon here, and then I will have a warrant of trade. I just made up the text, and yeah, I made one for Sam as well, so, but he's responsible for his own purity seals. He's got 1 at least, so cut out and everything, and maybe he can write on the other one, because I remember that he mentioned that he bought a marker to make purity seals. So there you go. I'm just gonna glue them together. I have my trusty glue gun, which is a Dremel one, and I've got these pin backs, which is going to go on this one and also on this one. Like, this is how the Krieg did it. And yeah, if this comes off, it is the stickiest thing in the universe, but as long as it stays on, it's fine. So yeah, I'm going to go and make those. I'm not going to film whilst I'm using the glue gun, because hot glue is and clumsy people is not a good combo. Well, maybe if I can figure out how to film it and have hands-free. I absolutely love this Dremel glue gun because it has a hot and a cold setting. I am sadly out of the Dremel glue sticks, which is also a special kind of awesome. And even though the kitchen island is fireproof, I mean, like, this is why I was ironing on here, because it's hard surface, and I did have the cover over it, so that was fine. But yeah, so I've got like the backing paper of the iron-on paper here, and I'm going to put that underneath just because, you know, it's so nothing. I mean, I don't think I can set the paper on fire, but also let's not take risks. And yeah, so I'm just gonna use this. Also, if I muck it up, I will be able to peel it off really easily because this is quite waxy. So I might actually keep these for other craft purposes. So I've got a bunch of glue on, and then I'm just gonna position this on. And if I muck, it's fine because it's on something that goes underneath. And then I should be able to turn it around, see? And now I'm just gonna leave this to dry. But on the back it looks like this. Glue on my hands. Thankfully it's not piping hot anymore. And then on the back, it looks like this. And my glasses are there because I can see much better without my glasses. Short, but for, you know, for seeing far away, I need them. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there so it can just cool down. Also, pin backs have been glued on. I have to hold it like this because otherwise I don't think you'll see them because it's black on black. But yeah, so there is that. For the warrant of trade, I'm going to do things just a little bit differently. I'm going to just glue these down first and then glue on the seal afterwards. And here we go. Dangling off my warrant. Hooray. Yeah, this actually went quite well. So my warrant's nearly done. Also, I feel like if Games Workshop made a wax seal stamp, just like maybe even a series with different logos like the Astartes and the Astra Militarum, aka the Imperial Guard, and then the ADMEC, the Adeptus Mechanicus and Chaos and, you know, Imperium, Inquisition, the whole lot. I mean, I think they've made so much money. I mean, I'd definitely buy like an Aquila one because that will be good for anything. Because I'm still pretty sure that this is the Adeptus Mechanicus one. I mean, leave it in the comments down below if I'm wrong, because I might be. Because there's only a couple that I can immediately recognize, like a couple of symbols, so there is that. Yeah, but my warrant is like, because canonically Guilliman, Robute Guilliman has been renewing warrants, and like because I imagine that when the Emperor wrote them, they're like now nothing but scraps. So yeah, so Guilliman's been renewing and like handing out new warrants. So mine is like a renewed one by Robute Guilliman. Like originally it was the Emperor's, but it's for like a whole house with lots of rogue traders. So he's now made individual ones. So I can just imagine that he just like kind of grabbed for the first stamp lying around. And I guess that canonically he wouldn't, but also he's best friends with a rogue trader and hangs out with Eldar. So in my mind, he wouldn't care that much. And now this guy is dry, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to glue these on. I got a whole box of these. Where's the box? A whole box of these on Amazon. They were cheap. It's 50 of them. They've got the rubberized pin backs, which are the ones you want. So yeah, I'm gonna make another another purity seal, not another warrant. I didn't make another warrant. Well, the paper bit. Actually, also, if somebody wants to know, I got this cardstock parchment at an art supply store, like maybe 20 years ago, and I still had some left. I just had 2, so one for me and one for Sam. So please don't ask me where it came from. I honest to God don't know. And it was probably a very random art supply store in Belgium, potentially Artobi, which is super random. Yeah, one done, one more to go. You may be wondering how I made my purity seals. Let me show you. So first I designed a single seal in Photoshop, and then when I was done, I flipped it and this down, because this is for the next batch. You can't really tell here, but there's like some really fine lines. They're slightly less fine here. See? So they're like basically cut lines, because that makes life so much easier. So I designed them in Photoshop, I flipped them. I have PSDs from before I flipped them. So I can change things if I want to. Like I can change the logo, because this is the Astra Militarum one. And this is the Rogue Trader one. So I basically have PSDs, and then when I was done with PSD, I changed the file. I saved it also in JPEG. And then I made a new file the size of an A4 paper, because I am in Europe, so I'm on A4. And I just added them all in. So the page is full, and now I've saved this as a PDF, so I should be able to print them fine and cut them out. I left the bottoms free in case people want to like tear theirs and burn them off, so that way it leaves a lot of room to customize, because you just need the rest of it really. So As you can see, the rest has a cut line and the bottom does not. And then I'm gonna just print these and do a test. I'm not gonna iron them, I'm just gonna print them on paper and see if the format is right. And then, yeah, that's how you do purity seals. Basically, this is how you make your custom purity seals. And these logos, just do an internet search for them and minus AI, because else you just get bullshit. And then, yeah, just download them and then you can get them for free. It's fine. But yeah, so I've changed to Astra Militarum now because most of the guys are Imperial Guard, and my oath of the moment, my next one will have the Rogue Trader one, and they all still have the Instagram of the Hellhounds on it. So yeah, that's how I do it. Test sprints successful. So I have printed it on actual transfer sheet. Well, this is a transfer sheet. The test print is underneath it. The test print is just on paper. That's not exciting. But yeah, so I've got new versions, like smaller ones that will look way better on the seals themselves. And yeah. What do you think, Joop? Are you going to join the Hellhounds? You can have a purity seal if you do. You'll be super fancy. This is your oath of the moment. No? Joop wanted this as his payment for filming. To turn the wheel of fortune, of spooky fortune. As you can see, he's not very good at turning it. Okay, klaar? Beware of dark places, Joop. And that's it. That's my warrant of trade and my purity seal, which you have seen before. Oh, straps falling down. But yeah, I've pinned one to my dress. You can't really see, hands are standing up. And I've got several of my warrant of trade, as you saw. But this is the warrant of trade in better light. And yeah, I quite like how this came out. Could it be better? Probably. But it's warrant of trade. It's gotta be held up in pictures and rolled up, and you won't see any of the detailing that well anyway. And yes, for those who are like super into lore accuracy, I am aware that this is the ATMEC sign, and I am aware that this should be the Astra Militarum sign, and this probably should have been the Rogue Trader sign. I have designed new ones, as you saw, if you've watched the entire video, with the correct signage. And now we just need, well, I just need wax seals that aren't ATMEC ones. Although I do like the ATMEC ones. It's really fun with the cog and the skull. I mean, it speaks to my inner steampunk, so therefore I approve. Yeah, so I'd like to make some more improved purity seals, because I've adjusted for the length to make them less wide, and then if we get like the bigger seals, then it should work a lot better. And yeah, quite enjoy them. I'm pleased with how they came out for a first try especially, and it's like a wearable mock-up, so to speak. They're definitely usable, which is great. So I'll make more in the future. Also, if you do not have anybody who can 3D print these, you should be able to make them out of air dry clay. You should be able to make them out of air dry clay. Here we go. Like, you know, Darby, foam clay, Fimo even. Just something that is lightweight enough. You should be able to just do that and paint it, or just get the red Fimo. That'll do it actually. So yeah, you can just improvise if you don't have anything 3D printed at hand. I don't know, well, I mean, I'm sure you can get purity seals off Etsy or just parts for them. And I don't know what price. So that is also an alternative, to go and have a look at Etsy. But, or if you want to do something Dead Company or Astartes, shell out and buy the Games Workshop ones, the official ones. It's all up to you. But this was my attempt at creating them, and I'm quite happy with how they came out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is not my usual content. I don't tend to do anything that is cosplay. This is not going to be a regular feature. I'm gonna be honest about that, because I only cosplay a Rogue Trader, and I'm only good at making Rogue Trader related items, but That's also very practical in my cosplay group. And purity seals, I can do a passable purity seal with help of my friend Noel, because he printed all of these. So without him, it would have been more of a faff, because then I would have had to clay them, make them out of clay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I shall do my best to insert kitty cats. I'm sure I can find somebody to cooperate. I have a picture of Kiwi with the warrant of trade, so there will be at least a cat photo. I'm gonna stop waffling now. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all the shenanigans. Let me know in the comments if you play Warhammer. It doesn't mean what kind of Warhammer. And what faction you play, or what is your favorite, if you just like the books or just the setting in general. Are you looking forward to the series by Henry Cavill? I know I am. Also, I want them to cast Sam Reed as Sanguinius. There, I said it. Or Charlie Vickers, but preferably Sam Reed. Anyhow, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell and the entire shebang, because that will help me out so much. YouTube does not like the small creators like me. And I'm going to stop waffling, because I've waffled more than enough. And I've, you've seen everything I had to show. And yeah, happy Halloween if you celebrate. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!